Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Cooper Field as we are underway here for the Georgetown Hoyas field hockey game against the Towson Tigers. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dan Ward calling today's game for you. The fall weather has finally come upon the DC area, and after a beautiful weekend, we've gone down into the low 50s here for this one. A cold, wet morning. The field has dried up nicely. This Cooper Field, excellent field when rain is involved. The go-to field for the soccer team whenever Shaw Field is unplayable. So the two teams are at it here for today's afternoon matchup. The Hoyas are back at home, the first of 4 straight games to end the regular season for the Hoyas. So quickly we get started. The Hoyas begin play going left to right in their home blues, and the Towson Tigers in their road whites will be moving right to left. And Tigers trying to develop something here for the first pressure of the game. Getting started, Carrie Thornton, a freshman. A lot of freshmen on this Towson team. Freshman firepower and what is a building program behind second-year head coach E.A. Jackson, who knows all about building programs and has had excellent success over the course of her field hockey career building up programs. So real quickly, we'll go through the starting lineups for both teams. For the Road Tigers, Kendra Sykes, Katie McNeil, Erica McKay, Beta Ho, Pamela Abbott, Gretchen Aldifer, Olivia Blasone, Paige Reese, Jenna Florenzo, Carrie Thorin, and in goal, Mackenzie Peacock. Those are the starters for the Tigers as they so far have applied slightly more pressure here as we're just 2 minutes into this game. Hoyas beginning with the ball and now having it back in their defensive zone for the Hoyas. A lot of the usual names out there to start this one. Michaela Bruno, Hallie Gill, and Emily Frazier picking up the starts, along with Helena Masiello, one of the team captains for the Hoyas, at the forward position. Ashley Leverett, the junior back, getting the start once again alongside Frazier. Kylie Cunningham, the sophomore, starting at midfield here today, along with Grace English and Lindsay Getz at the forward position, the leading goal scorer for the Georgetown Hoyas, alongside Cammie Osborne, who will be keeping an eye on checking into this game shortly. She is actually already at midfield waiting to check into this game, so it didn't take long for the other leading goal scorer, rather, to get involved in this game. Finishing out the final 3 of the starting lineup, Allie Cronin at back, Anna Farley along with her, and back in goal, the freshman star Kira Wheats, who has had herself an excellent season, just slightly above 2 goals against average, had 8 saves in her last game, has been an excellent addition to this Hoyas team. Hoyas so far slightly slow to begin this first few minutes, not able to gather possession, trying to do so here with Cunningham applying a little pressure to Paige Reese, but Reese is able to win the battle. Tigers team led by number 5, the senior midfielder Katie McNeil from Easton, Pennsylvania. McNeil is one of 7 goal scorers on this Tigers team. She has 6 of the 12 goals for the Tigers this season. The other 6 players with a goal apiece. Tigers doing an excellent job applying some pressure. Now Masiello with a nice cross move, moving it up ahead. Didn't get all of that pass, and it's knocked out of bounds by Getz. Masiello and Getz, good pairing. Have played a lot together this season in that front 2. 2 leading forwards. The Tigers coming into this game are used to playing on the road. They've had 9 road games this season and will have 11 total for the year, including this one here today, this being their 10th road game of the season, compared to just playing 4 times at home. They do have 3 of their last 4 games at home to end the season, but nonetheless it is 7 home games compared to 11 road games for the Tigers. So a growing program that is traveling a lot, but their fans still coming out to support. Decent crowd on hand by the Tigers. relatively close, just a little north in Maryland. So not a bad drive, especially on a Sunday afternoon, to come watch two good teams come battling it out. See if the Tigers can't pick up their second win of the season. Beta Ho taking that pass away after Hallie Gill got the whistle for the advancement. Cami Osborne now is alongside Masiello as she's checked into the game. That ball flicked out of bounds. It'll be the Hoyas' possession now in the offensive zone, trying to get some more consistency. Michaela Bruno is trotting out of the game for Jax Vanderveen, getting her first action, quickly moving up ahead. And that ball, looking to be tipped or redirected by the Hoyas, goes a lot wide out of bounds. And it will be given to the Tigers. But Towson entering this game 1-12 on the season. Their lone win coming against common opponent with the Hoyas, LIU Brooklyn. They defeated the Blackbirds 4-1. Here comes English moving up quickly, trying to enter inside that striking circle. She does. Reverse sweeping shot. It's knocked away, and perhaps a dangerous shot called on the shot of English. So ball rewarded to the Tigers. But in that game against the Blackbirds, Katie McNeil scoring the game winner for them in the 4-1 victory. The Hoyas, if you remember, defeated the Blackbirds 7-0 earlier in the season. These two teams with 5 common opponents: Appalachian State, Davidson, Sacred Heart, LIU Brooklyn, and Temple. The Hoyas defeating all of those common opponents, while the Tigers were able to only get a victory against LIU Brooklyn. 8-game losing streak always makes a team a dangerous team. Tigers out of it in the CAA, sitting at 0-3. Would need a miracle and a lot of help in order to advance to the playoffs, but makes them a dangerous team anytime a team has nothing to play for and is looking to grow and is filled with freshman star power who are looking to be aggressive and show what they're worth, not just for this season but the years to come. Hoyas don't want to get caught on their heels. If they're able to win this game, it'll be their 10th win of the season, and that is something that has not been able to be said for a while. The Georgetown field hockey team getting double-digit wins in a season. So this game with some importance for the Hoyas, even though it is an out-of-conference game. Gill, nice job moving it up ahead. Cool day here this Sunday afternoon. Overcast skies. The rain has seemed to depart for the rest of the day. Hoyas moving up with it. Gill. Adnell Van Schack. Then moving into the circle was Jax Vanderveen. She's able to draw the whistle for the first penalty corner of the game. That's exactly what the Hoyas want to try to do. Get inside that circle, draw some penalties, give themselves some opportunities here from the baseline and from the penalty corner. Cami Osborne and Jax Vanderveen set at the point. Katie Moransky not starting this game, but now is in the game on the far side of the circle. Now Van Schack near side. Tigers are ready. Ball off the stick of Vanderveen, couldn't handle it, gets it back to Osborne, takes a shot, didn't get all of it, stays inside the circle and is knocked away. Whistle blows, it'll be Tigers ball. Not a very clean penalty corner. There you go, Wade! Anna Farley was the one on the pass, just couldn't be handled off the stick of Vanderveen. Was able to get it back to Osborne, but then she couldn't connect on the shot. Tigers have had some close games here this season. They have shown that they can compete with even some of the stronger teams. Even if they haven't been able to be rewarded in the wins column, they have had some quality games, so see what they can provide here against the Hoyas. An errant pass here, risky pass, gets just coming in from substitution, nearly intercepting that one. That was Erica McKay on the pass, trying to get it to Gretchen Aldifer. Ten freshmen on this roster of 19 for the Towson Tigers. Erica McKay and Katie McNeil, the only seniors for the Tigers. So certainly a group that is going to be building a lot of cohesiveness and chemistry over the years, and this season specifically. Of the starters, 6 are first-year players, so getting a lot of good experience this season. And although they will be losing their leading goal scorer on the year next season, they will be able to regroup and come back. And with E.A. Jackson at the helm, wouldn't be surprised if this Tigers team shows up big next season in the CAA. Mentioned Jackson's ability to bring programs up through the rankings. Her previous experience, most recently, was at Eastern Mennonite University. She was there for only 2 seasons. Because of the success, she was then promoted to the Towson Tigers job. And I say promoted, but earned the Tigers' vacant head coaching job. Was able to find herself at the D1 level just 2 years after being at Eastern Mennonite University. In her first season, she doubled the win total for the field hockey team. And then following the next season, the team scored 28 more goals and allowed 34 fewer. So the goal differential increasing by 62 in just 1 year. And if that's not progress, if that's not moving a program forward, then I don't know what is. And with a resume like that, you expect this Tigers team again to be good down the road. But right now, we're focused on this game, Hoyas Tigers, October 14th, 2018. Right now, neither team really able to gain consistency on either side of the ball. A lot of battles at midfield. Hoyas so far with the only penalty corner. Neither team really in control so far in this game. Osborne trying to change that, gets along towards the corner, sends a centering pass. Gill is there on the inside, just tries to keep it inside the circle, sends a ball in. Moransky can't get a stick on it. Now battle for it, and Beta Ho comes away after being tripped up slightly by Gill, and the Hoyas have to turn away. Good job by the Tigers defense, collapsing in that striking circle and really pushing the Hoyas out nicely. Gill was deep inside the circle, had to move all the way back out to 16 yards, and then just really pray as she sent that ball back in towards the circle. Now Bruno's there applying pressure. She's always dangerous when on the offensive side of the field. Moransky intercepting that pass. Tigers slightly out of sorts, and they give it away here. Erica McKay knocking that ball off her own foot. And I'll return back to the Hoyas. Michaela Bruno on the reset. Towards the corner, towards Moransky. Tries to send a centering ball in, knocked down by Beta Ho. Now in the corner again. Drawing near that circle. And the Hoyas will be rewarded with the penalty corner. Not exactly how they drew it up, but they got the result that they wanted nonetheless. And Farley will go back for her second attempt from the baseline in this game. Bruno and Getz will be on the near side. Tammy Osborne, far side, just a few steps left of the top of the circle. Jackson Vanderveen there to accept the pass, and she'll be looking to set up Emily Frazier. Ball goes to her. Vanderveen sets it to Frazier. Frazier, wrist shot is blocked. Gill able to step up. Reverse shot, rolling it in, tipped around. Ball still loose. Farley waiting for a call. Throws her hand up and she gets the call. Towson able to stop the first attempt. But now the Hoyas with their third penalty corner. Emily Frazier, fourth on the team in goals scored with 4. She'll now step aside. Katie Moransky will step up for her chance. They tap it back and forth now to Vanderveen inside. Pass close to Osborne. Takes a shot, but not before the whistle blows. Hoyas turned away on what was building to be one of their better offensive possessions. And in the game now, Natalie Tortolero, sophomore midfielder, with the ball. Will send it backwards back to McKay. McKay, the senior vet, far side to Aldifer. Towson, very deliberate here, very intentional with their passes, slowly progressing forward. And now a hard shot taken by Katie McNeil. Rings off of Hallie Gill, but she seems to be okay. McNeil again, double teamed. Protecting the ball, looking for space as it knocked away. And McNeil will hold on to it. Veteran play right there. So that ball sneaks through. Hoyas defense now having to step up. And Farley just loses the ball on that pass attempt. And now McNeil and the Tigers looking to build something here. McNeil going towards the corner. Flicks it past one defender, dribbles it out of bounds, wanted a call, didn't get it. It will be back to the Hoyas, perhaps trying to do a little too much. Forcing the issue there along the baseline. Frazier out to Allie Cronin. Allie Cronin, one of the more consistent players on this Hoyas team, especially in that back line. And the Hoyas just turning the ball over rather reluctantly there. Sydney Stevenson trying to send a long ball up ahead, and it just goes out of bounds. Slightly out of sorts. Something just feels a little bit off with the Hoyas so far through this first few minutes. We're just past the midway point, 17 minutes left here in the first half, and there's another pass that goes right past the Hoyas and Vanderveen, and will be returned back to the Tigers. Now the Tigers looking to have some consistency here on this side of the field. Sending the ball back to their veteran back. Okay, given a lot of space, allowed to move up with it. Bruno on the stop, running into Abby Webster. Kira Wheats and Mackenzie Peacock, the two goalkeepers in this game. Both freshmen, as the Hoyas now trying to pressure McKay. McKay doing an excellent job of protecting the ball away from Hoya forward attack. And then Bruno coming away with the ball and the whistle. Bruno, ever aggressive, trying to keep up with the play. Bruno forcing the Tigers back before giving it back up, knocking it out of bounds last, but showing her energy that she always provides game in and game out. Good forward pressure. Good marking from that midfield position and that forward position. Right now back with Katie Moransky, or Helena Masiello, rather, donning the green band around the sock. Here comes Allie Cronin making a play. Passing it up ahead to Vanderveen. Vanderveen sneaking it through the legs of Beta Ho, trying to find Masiello, but not before the whistle's blown. You get the sense that a low-scoring game and a close game would provide more benefit for the Tigers, as they are not a high goal-scoring team, so a low-scoring affair and a close scoreless game would give the edge to them. If they can just sneak a goal past Kira Wheats, then they would be all set. Errant pass here, though, finds the Hoyas inside. A chance here if they can get a call. And they do. It was an errant pass back to Peacock. Peacock stepped up, kicked it ahead to one of her defensive backs. And I didn't see if it was McKay or somebody else who had slipped trying to get the ball, but it went right past her. Isabel Harkins was there for the Hoyas to step up and try to create something, and now they'll be rewarded with a penalty corner. Good awareness by the freshman of the Hoyas. Not giving up on the play and applying a little bit of pressure to the Tigers. So Farley again. They double setup here at the top. Masiello moves out. Going to Stevenson. Reverse shot. Flips off of the stick and over the net, over the cage. But will staying with the Hoyas. Hoyas have yet to get a strong strike from the top of the circle off those 4 penalty corners. This ball tipped in, cleared away by Alderfer, and Tigers take over. 13-15 left in the first half of this scoreless game. Hoyas looking for their 10th win of the season. Tigers looking to end an 8-game losing streak for their 2nd win of the season. Boys now, Vanderveen in the corner. Being marked by Katie Parkinson. Whistle blows, but Vanderveen will have it in the corner. Farley is with her near side. Goes baseline, trying to draw a whistle, and does not. Gets Beta Ho coming up with the defensive stop. Ho listed as a midfielder and attacker, but has done an excellent job here in a defensive role, playing more of a defensive midfield position. The ball is trying to find a hole to find Casey Buble. Tigers looking for some of those long passes, long hits to get through the Hoya defense. And it's the midfield play. Once again, Hoya's midfielders have been strong all season. That's really the difference maker in most of the games. Which team will win the midfield battle? Cunningham coming up to help save that ball from any fast break opportunity from the Tigers, but they will have it near side, right around the 20-yard line. Back out to Alderfer. Alderfer met by Masiello. And now Vanderveen. Stepping up, but Vanderveen gets called for the whistle. Paige Reese. Tigers will try far side with Tortorellaro. Bouncing ball in towards the corner. Florenzo couldn't handle it. Tigers staying up, applying a lot of forward pressure. Hoyas just trying to clear it out a little bit, give themselves a little bit of breathing room on the defensive half of the field. Ball's reset right around 30 yards. Tortorellaro with it. Hoyas shutting down all the passing lanes except backwards to McKay. They'll accept that. Opportunity to reset. McKay sending a long ball in. Finds Buble. Buble sneaking inside the circles. Takes a shot deflected wide. And it was deflected off a Hoya stick. Nearly resulting in what would have been an own goal. And now Towson starting to feel a little more confident. Starting to look a little better here. Entering the circle once again. Reverse shot taken. It's loose. They shoot and they score. The first ball was deflected off of Wheats. And then I believe it found the stick of who else but Katie McNeil. And if it is McNeil, it'll be her 7th goal of the season. And the first for the Tigers in nearly a game and a half after being shut out in their last game. So just like that, the Towson Tigers have the 1-0 lead with 10 minutes left in the first half. Georgetown looking for an answer, and right now just looking for some consistency of possession. Have not had good control of the ball in this game. We'll see if Jessica Logano, who's checked in for her first action, can make an impact here. Sends it up, Bruno. Trying to work that patented tip pass up ahead to herself that has worked so many times in the past, but this time getting the whistle against her. And a mistake like that, potentially big for the Hoyas, as they now will have the ball deep in their offensive zone off the mistake of the Tigers. Moransky to reset. Moransky finding Cunningham. Cunningham again, just didn't get all of it on that pass. Wondering if the ground being a little bit wet, a little bit more damp than the Hoyas are used to could be an issue. Osborne there slipping, trying to get that ball, but we'll stay with the Hoyas. Not saying that the field conditions are a major factor in this contest, but it could be factor enough that it is just causing the Hoyas not to be quite as crisp with their passes, not as strong on their shots, and struggling with the ball control slightly. Bruno able to get that ball inside the circle, going baseline, gets past one defender and draws the penalty corner. Nice job by Michaela Bruno. Got the bounce she needed and then used her speed and dribbling control to get to the baseline and draw another penalty corner. Good opportunity for the Hoyas. They have not capitalized yet on the first 4 penalty corners. Looking for a chance here. Moransky at the top, looking to set up Frazier. Osborne and Getz both on the field. Go to Moransky, whistle blows, defender leaving early. Nope, they're sending Cronin out.
Penalty corner taken by your Hoyas. Number 2, Hallie.
Cronin committing the violation, so she has to reset. Now Hallie Gill will be the one to deliver the pass, and the Hoyas now on the near side have a different setup. They'll go straight to Frazier. Frazier with the shot, looking for a redirect, can't find it. And it goes wide of the cage. Getz trying to redirect it, could not. And the Tigers escape once again. Under 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Hoyas trail the Tigers 1-0. Tigers giving the Hoyas some easy possessions here, allowing them to reset on offense once again. Moransky will take it all the way back to Frazier. Frazier looking quickly up ahead to Bruno. Bruno looking to keep the ball alive, gets inside the circle. Play continues on as it's knocked out towards the corner. Aldifer trying to keep it alive. It'll be reset to the Hoyas. That's a good ball for the Tigers. Anytime Bruno gets inside the circle and does not score a goal or draw a corner, you should be pleased with that. Back out to Frazier. Finds Bruno, trying to tip it towards the inside, gets blocked, and draws the whistle against number 21, Paige Reese, as she impeded Bruno's progress. Bruno seeing space, tries to cut back, gets the ball bouncing off the foot of Buble. Looked like Buble was inside the circle, but nonetheless, it'll return back to Logano. Logano finding Getz settling it. Going past one defender. Gets the whistle just outside the circle again. See what the Hoyas are trying to do here. Just get inside. Give themselves some more opportunities from penalty corners. Centering ball in is loose. Getz is there, has it knocked away. Getz wanted a whistle and finally gets it. It'll be a penalty corner. Getz looking a little frustrated at first, but gets the call that she needs. Hoyas with another opportunity. They're 6th of this first half. We'll see who they send out this time.
Taking by your Hoyas.
Gill will take it. Frazier and Moransky at the top. Osborne near side. They go to Moransky. Frazier fakes the shot, goes to Osborne. Osborne with the shot and scores!
Goal!
It deflected off the stick of McKay right into the back of the cage. And Cami Osborne ties this game up for the Hoyas. 1-1 here in the first half. Cami Osborne retakes the lead by herself on the team in goals scored, her 9th on the season. And the Hoyas get that needed equalizer, and they're looking for more as they push ahead here, drawing the Tigers defense all the way back. Tortolero struggling with it, finds Alderfer. Alderfer has had to work a lot in this first half. Has been up to the task thus far, and now the Hoyas with a little bit more confidence, applying the pressure and pushing the ball up the field. Quickly up ahead to Van Schack. Van Schack, couple of moves, trying to send a centering ball in. Knocked away by Katie Parkinson. Nine goals and now 20 points for Cami Osborne, leading the team in both categories. Lindsay Getz, 8 goals, 19 points, trailing just behind her. Now a loose ball up the field, giving chase. Kendra Sykes, she wins the race to it, and will be rewarded with possession. No, the Hoyas will take over as that ball is knocked out by Sykes. So Sydney Stevenson on the restart, 16 yards out. Ball tipped up ahead. Good little block by English, now sending it up ahead for Masiello. Masiello versus McKay. A slightly sluggish first half for the Hoyas, but they find themselves tied now with the Tigers after giving up the first goal. And seem to have found a bit more energy and consistent play here since the goal. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Van Schack again. Led by Alderfer. Gets inside. Sends a centering ball. Inside is English. And English couldn't control it. And will be turned away. Far side, Tortolero. Tigers not applying as much pressure as they were earlier. Slowly moving forward as this ball stays on the left side of the field. Vanderveen could not get past Parkinson. The Tigers ball with 1:15 left in the first half. Aldifer waiting. Sending ball down the sideline. Will roll out of bounds. Logano will take over for the Hoyas. Good read by Paige Reese if she was able to get that one. Ball goes through several players. Finds it around midfield. Now the Hoyas gather. And again, a little heavy off the touch is Vanshak. And Aldifer will be able to have it. She had space to move if she was able to control the pass. Just slightly off. That's all it's taking for the Hoyas. Just a couple of inches here and there. Not completely off their game, but just enough that you can see a big difference between this game and, say, the game against their last couple home games, whether that be Old Dominion or Lehigh. They're just far cleaner and more crisp in both of those games. First half looking like it's going to end in this 1-1 tie. 10 seconds left on the clock. Hoyas deep in their own zone. Time ticking down, 5 seconds left. And after the Tigers got the first goal of the game, Cammie Osborne ties things up. And we are all knotted at 1, 35 minutes through the first half. So we're going to step aside. We'll have first half recap and second half action in a little bit. You're watching Georgetown Field Hockey on Hoya Vision. Back here at Cooper Field, I am Dan Ward on the call for this Georgetown Hoya Field Hockey game between the Hoyas and the Towson Tigers. Through 35 minutes of play, we're all tied up 1 apiece. We do have a scoring update. Initially said that it was Katie McNeil with the goal, but McNeil had the first shot on the save by Wheats, and it was redirected to Jessica Florenzo. So Florenzo off the rebound, putting it home for the Tigers. That is her first goal of the season. And so now 8 different players with a goal scored for the Tigers. McNeil still at 6 goals on the season, and 7 other players with a goal apiece. Cammie Osborne then came back and scored the goal for the Hoyas. Off pass from Cammie Frazier, off after a penalty corner attempt. So, knotted up at 1 apiece to start this second half. The two teams have switched sides. Towson begins with the ball. Hoyas now have the ball. Ashley Leverett getting it over to the near side to Grace English. Referee saying restart. I wasn't ready. Let's get back to it. Hoyas looking again for their 10th win of the season, trying to end a 2-game losing streak. They lost last weekend to Rutgers, 7-0, a very talented, nationally ranked Rutgers team. And then lost 2-1 in a close game against Liberty, a game that the Hoyas would love to have back if they were to defeat the Liberty University. Then they would be sitting much better in the standings, 3-2 as opposed to 2-3, with 2 conference games left. Would have handed Liberty their first conference loss, and with a much better chance at the playoffs. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the second half, the implications of this game, and the final 3 games for the Hoyas, 2 of which are conference matchups. Masiello at the forward position, Hallie Gill and Kylie Cunningham at midfield, along with Michaela Bruno. Lindsay Getz the other forward. Grace English, Allie Cronin, the more defensive midfielders. Emily Frazier, Anna Farley back for the Hoyas. They're attacking right now. Here comes Bruno. Bruno centering pass in. Nobody is home for the Hoyas. Was it tipped out of bounds? No, says the referee. Diving effort by Peacock. And the ball just trickles wide of the cage. Tigers will reset. First half, Towson led in shots 3-1. The one shot going in for the Hoyas. Kara Wheats given just the 1 save in the first half. That save was redirected right to Jessica Florenzo for the goal. Ball somehow gets all the way through to Bruno across the field. She sneaks in, batted away by Peacock. Loose, goes wide past the cage, and Towson will take over. The dangerous ball off of what was expected to be intercepted, but goes through the sticks of several Tigers players and finds Bruno. Now again, the Hoyas sneaking in, gets, but the whistle is blown before she can get in. Georgetown with 7 penalty corners in the first half. Looking for another here. Masiello dribbling it in, battle in front, and whistle is called against the Tigers. So, as we mentioned, penalty corners, number 8 of the game now for the Hoyas.
Number 22, Anna Farley.
Anna Farley to go take the corner. First one of the half. Hoyas looking to take the lead. Michaela Bruno, Helena Masiello at the top of the circle. Lindsay gets far side. Grace English here on the near side. Whistle called from the back judge. Sending Gill back. Moving up ahead before the play started. Now they get it up. Bruno with a hard shot. Save made, and the whistle will blow it away. Bruno got all of that shot, and an impressive pad save by Peacock. Whistle helping her out as that ball was fired up toward the head of the goalkeeper, but nonetheless impressive both sides. Bruno on the shot and Peacock with the redirection and the save. Hoyas applying a lot of forward pressure, a lot of marks by the attacking forwards and midfielders. Masiello now getting involved. And perhaps getting a little too involved as the backside judge calls her for a green card, and she will have to sit out for a couple of minutes. So a man down are the Hoyas. Pamela Abbott, the starter, slowly moving up. Off the back stick of Carrie Thornton. Towson now moving up. Paige Reese. Reese, centering ball. Found by Farley. Farley trying to control, gets it out of the circle, splits a couple defenders, and will just send it and clear it out towards midfield. Nice job by Farley. Now Alderfer trying to return things for the Tigers. It's collected by Bruno. And run out of bounds. Bruno will keep possession. Send it midfield to Gill. Gill near side to Leverett. Leverett trying to swing it up ahead for English. A little bit late on that pass. Knocked out by Tortolero. And then trying to lead it for Gill. A little heavy on the pass. Goes out of bounds. Tortolero taking over again. The Hoyas pushing up quickly. Will have to be a little bit careful of those long balls from the Tigers sneaking past the defense. If they can get a ball to find a hole, not like that, as Gill is able to intercept it and then turn the other way. Cronin looking back for Gill as Bruno on the far side. Reverse sweeping shot, just dribbles slowly into the circle, knocked away by the Tigers. Gathered now by the goal scorer Florenzo. Florenzo getting called for the whistle, knew that she had caused a violation, and now Leverett. Leverett will reset it back to Frazier. They'll go all the way across the field to Farley. Farley on a bouncing ball, unable to handle that as it goes out of bounds. Spoke with a representative of the Hoyas at halftime. Mentioned how both of these teams play on similar surfaces, this being the football field for the Hoyas as well as the field hockey field, but a turf field, and the Tigers, similar situation up in Towson, so both teams used to a bit of a slower pace as the turf will grip the ball fairly considerably, but a little more slick here this afternoon due to the rain this morning, causing both teams to be slightly off. Nothing bad, but just slightly off their game, a little heavy on the passes, unable to control certain balls, hard on the touches, bouncing more considerably than they're used to. But so far, it's resulting in an even match for the two teams, even on the scoreboard and fairly even as far as time possession and opportunities, although the Hoyas have gained the edge in penalty corners. Tigers still looking for their first opportunity in that category. Now moving up, marked by Cronin. Cronin in the corner, and when you need a defensive play, call Allie Cronin, and she knocks that ball out of bounds, forcing the Tigers back out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, Towson!
Beta Ho.
Go White!
On the reset. Tries to sneak it in off of the stick of Gill. Cronin gathers it, sends it back to Gill, and she'll move up, looking for Osborne, the goal scorer for the Hoyas. Sends it wide to Vanderveen. Jax, marked by Alderfer. Alderfer a little too aggressive. Gets the whistle against her. Vanderveen will reset it for Farley. Cronin, midfield. Osborne and Van Schack inside the circle right now. They go to the corner. Vanderveen trying to sneak it in, sends a flick pass off of Alderfer, and it will return to the Tigers. Van Schack, Moransky, Gill, Osborne. Vanderveen, Cunningham, the forward and attacking midfielders for the Hoyas. Cronin, Leverett, Frazier, and Farley are back defensively. A clear attempt by McNeil, gathered by Moransky. Moransky finds Leverett. Leverett has some room. Looking for a play, sending a pass up ahead to Osborne. Osborne right around the circle. Sneaks inside, but is met by Alderfer, and Alderfer is able to battle her away. Alderfer has been very strong in that back line for the Tigers. Gill and Cronin playing a little give and go, and they'll reset it back. Hoyas controlling the offense here in the second half. Nothing on the scoreboard for it, but a much better job. Really have regrouped nicely. Dominating time of possession here, 11 minutes through the second half. Looking for that go-ahead goal. Leverett inside the circle. Now backs out. Back out to Cronin. Tigers collapsing. A lot of bodies inside that striking circle. Farley getting her stick tangled up. And it looks like, although the ball was well outside the circle, the referee is going to reward the Hoyas with a penalty corner here. McKay, senior leader, looking for an explanation from the referee. Gets one that she accepts. Now the Hoyas with another opportunity here, their second corner, 9th of the game. Jamie Osborne at the top, looking for her second goal of the game. Vanderveen near side. Van Schack and Gill far side. Farley. They set up for Osborne. Can't get all of that shot. Knocked off the stick of McNeil, giving chase. Her and Van Schack. And on the push, a card is given. Going to be given to Katie McNeil. I believe that was a yellow card pulled from the line referee. In which case that is a 5-minute penalty. Towson will be a man down for 5 minutes. Hoya is given another corner. Another big opportunity here. Georgetown looking to take the lead. Farley straight to Osborne this time. Sets it for herself. Shoots. Initial save is made. And Farley's there for the bounce in and scores. Osborne with an excellent shot. Peacock was there to make the initial save, but on the rebound, Anna Farley was there to put it home, and the Hoyas take the 2-1 lead. Two to 1 lead now for the Hoyas. And for Anna Farley, her first goal of the season. Usually a dominating force on that back line. Usually the one setting up her teammates on the penalty corners. But finally rewarded with one herself after Osborne's shot was saved by Peacock. But you can't save the second shot by Farley on the rebound. So 2-1 score. 22 and change left in the game. And if you're the Hoyas, you want to keep applying that pressure, keep attacking forward. And the way the second half has gone, Tigers with really only one good scoring opportunity. Otherwise, we've been on the left side of the field for most of this second half. Tigers will have to start pushing now and try to make some things happen. That's not going to do it. As McKay just dribbles that one out of bounds. Still a man up. McNeil's the leading goal scorer for this Tigers team, still serving her penalty. Over 3 minutes to go left in that one. Katie Moransky now in the corner, trying to go baseline, just dribbles it right out of bounds. Turnover on the Hoyas. Give a lot of credit to Christine Longacre for whatever her message was to her team at halftime. They have come out looking much better. But as soon as we say that, big play made by Carrie Thornton, intercepting that pass, charging up the field, getting past her defender. Thornton coming up, and Wheats with an excellent job coming out and making the kick save, knocking that away. Thornton nearly going coast to coast. Sending the ball through the legs of Frazier to get past her last defender, and Wheats having to come well out of her goal to knock that one away. And give a lot of credit to the freshman. Hasn't had a lot of action, especially in the second half, but was still on her toes, well aware of what was going on, and recognizing that she had to come out of her goal to make that save. Now Getz trying to do the same. Got a pass toward Alero, picking up the call. Sydney Stevenson will reset for the Hoyas. And that seems to be the best chance for the Tigers. Intercepting the pass or a long hit up ahead. Those have created their best opportunities thus far. Just have not been clean enough on their passes and skilled enough on their dribbling to get it past these Hoya defenders when they try to slowly move up the field. Looking like their best opportunities will come off of the breakaways and off of the errors by the Hoyas. McKay able to make something happen. Sends a good ball up the corner. That'll at least give the Tigers a chance to push forward. Stevenson now looking to clear it back out for the Hoyas, and she does all the way out to midfield. It's a foot race, and Hoyas have Bruno. She's going to win that, but then is met by Alderfer. And Bruno wants that ball back, chasing down Alderfer, but gets called for the whistle as she chases her from behind. Alderfer quickly on the reset, sends it up ahead. Fans want to call on Frazier. They don't get it. The Hoyas will be giving the ball back. That interception by Thornton certainly gave a little more life to this Tigers team. Now they'll talk it over. Timeout on the field. E.A. Jackson will call the timeout. Look to gather her team and reset. We're going to step aside along with them. We'll be right back. Come on back. 60 seconds. More Georgetown field hockey here on Hoya Vision. I just didn't feel like talking anymore. This also gives me a chance to look this up. I don't think we've had a 10-win season in this decade, or in this millennium. How long is the timeout? A minute, 90 seconds, something like that. Yep. They were close. They were 8-11. Yeah. Okay, so this only goes back to 2002. Let's come on back. Back here at Cooper Field after the timeout by E.A. Jackson and the Towson Tigers. The Hoyas are all back on the field, ready in position. And now here come the Tigers, trailing the Hoyas 2-1 here in the second half after a second half goal by Anna Farley off the rebound shot by Cammie Osborne. Scored the first goal of the game in the first half. 18-18 to go. 2 seconds left on the Katie McNeil yellow card. She'll be back in the game right about now. And now we're back at even strength for both teams. The Tigers able to create a couple of potential opportunities even while serving that 5-minute penalty, a man down. And McNeil entering the game, she's back and well rested and looking to create. Has the ball, sends it towards midfield, trying to find Parkinson. Whistle blows. Farley will reset it for the Hoyas. Take it down the far side of the field. Has Masiello. Masiello battling with Alderfer again. They go back to her in the corner. Masiello going baseline. Knocks it off a stick of Alderfer. Reset at the 25-yard line. Gill, Masiello, Cammie Osborne, Grace English, Kylie Cunningham all up front for the Hoyas. Here's English. English in the corner. Waiting. Back out to Stevenson. Stevenson, touch pass over to Gill. Gill marked by a couple of defenders, and it's Beta Ho who comes up with it. And Beta Ho trying to do too much. Instead of clearing it, just dribbles it up into Gill, and Gill is able to take it away. Tough ball, can't be handled by Cunningham. And the Tigers will send it back. Tortolero sends it towards the middle of the field. Parkinson. Alderfer. And once again, the Hoyas back in control on the offensive side of the field. Long pass, Stevenson up ahead to take that one. Heavy on her pass to English, and it'll roll out of bounds. If the Hoyas are able to hold on to this 2-1 lead and pick up this victory this afternoon, it'll be the first time in this millennia, in the 2000s, that they have had a 10-win season. They were close in 2008, I believe it was, in which they had an 8-win season, but yet to eclipse the double-digit mark since the turn of the century. And coming here against a Towson team that is looking for similar success moving forward under a new head coach, as the Hoyas have gathered here with Christy Longacre in her second season with the team, or excuse me, her first season with the team, and has already built this program up to a very high competitive level, a level in which you'll see them rising through to the top half of the Big East standings if they can continue to grow the way they have over the last 2 years. And a correction, it was far more recently than 2008, 2015 that they had the 8-win season. And they ended that season on a 4-game losing streak, so very well could have eclipsed the double-digit mark had they been able to take care of business on the road. 3 of those last 4 games were road games, and the 4th was against UConn. Hoyas' final 3 games of the season will be against Providence, Longwood, and UConn. And although the Hoyas were projected to finish at the bottom of the conference, they have a chance at the playoffs. And those 2 conference games are going to be huge for the team in blue if they want to go from a last place team to a playoff team in just 1 season, and in the first season with Christy Longacre. Tigers really need to get something going here, really need to apply more pressure and try to cut down on those passing lanes. Force the hand of the Hoyas, because right now they are in complete control. Playing with a lead and an offensive lead. But they have a man streaking up ahead here. Just a bit heavy on the pass. Wheats will kick that one aside. Tigers will retain possession. But that was exactly what we were talking about. An opportunity to take a shot. Looking for Olivia Blasone up ahead, but it was too heavy of a pass for her. But the Tigers still have it. Deep in the offensive zone, in the corner, trying to get a centering pass. It goes off of Cronin. Will retain with the Tigers. Tigers still without a penalty corner in this game. That would be a huge opportunity for them. But right now, going in the wrong direction, trying to reset with their back line. Come near side, but the pass can't be handled. It'll be taken away by Moransky, and she'll just fling it up ahead towards midfield and back into the defensive zone of the Tigers. Masiello marking Tortolero. Moransky battling, runs into her, and she knew that that was going to be a card. Tried to appease the umpire, but a yellow card for Moransky. And so the Tigers getting what they need, a good opportunity here. Man advantage. And, excuse me, green card only for Moransky. So she'll just be sitting out for 2 minutes. But still an opportunity here for Towson if they can find something. But instead, McKay dribbles right into traffic. Gill setting it up ahead for Getz. Getz getting inside the circle, finds Osborne. Osborne looking for a shot. Cuts back in, loses the ball. All the way back out outside the circle, but Gill has it. And And the Hoyas will reset. Good shot by the Tigers to get back, especially closing in on Getz and Osborne. Leverett back over to Gill. Gill with good control off her stick. Gill very impressive playing that attacking midfield position. Frazier now. And a long ball up ahead, intercepted by Veda Ho. Ho flinging it up ahead, trying to get it to the stick of Florenzo, but it rolls out of bounds. Heavy on the pass once again. 42 seconds left for Moransky to check back in. 10:42 left in regulation. 2-1 Hoyas lead. Tigers pressing forward. Fine Florenzo. Florenzo going baseline, just dribbles it right out of bounds. Tigers have not been able to capitalize on the opportunities deep in the offensive end. Once again, unable to capitalize and get a penalty corner. Now near side, Leverett. Gill marked nicely there. Ball stays in bounds. Good ball control by Leverett, and she moves it up ahead to Getz. Getz on the backhand. Gets inside, reverse sweeping shot. Looking for the redirect by Harkins. Can't find it as that ball goes wide of the cage out of bounds. Moransky back in the game. Her penalty served. And now the referee blowing the whistle, talking to the scoreboard operator. And I believe it is because of the penalty to Moransky. And now the referee holding up 5 fingers. So it was, in fact, a yellow card to Moransky. I thought he had put up the yellow card. But sometimes that yellow-green can be a little deceiving. And so we saw the 2 minutes on the board. And I'd assumed that it was, in fact, a green card. But yellow card was the call. Referee doing honest by his call and doing honest for both teams. So Moransky back on the sidelines for 3 more minutes. Meanwhile, the Hoyas pressing in, have the ball inside the circle, and they get the whistle that they were looking for. Michaela Bruno and Kylie Cunningham on the mark there, along with Isabel Harkins. Looks like they'll be setting up Michaela Bruno here. Cunningham on the near side, Harkins and Getz far side. Leverett unable to handle the pass, goes right to Gill, but they find Bruno. Bruno with a chance. Sends it wide to the cage, but gathered by Farley. Farley back to Bruno. Bruno tries to turn and take a shot. Loses it. There's a wild stick on the field, and the whistle will be blown. Veda Ho lost her stick, and I think Michaela Bruno may have redirected the stick to fly across the air. An unusual play, but the Hoyas get the benefit of the call away from the play, or at least away from the flying stick. So another opportunity here, 11th corner of the game. It's time they set up Frazier. Frazier with the shot, save made by Peacock. Hoyas still with possession. Cunningham looking for a centering ball off the stick of Aldifer. And off the wrong part of Aldifer. So another penalty corner for the Hoyas. 12 now in the game. If there's any one difference, you at least control the ball on the offensive side a little bit more when you have this many corners. Frazier again, hard shot, kick save by Peacock, all the way back out to Leverett. Now to Bruno. Bruno working the corner again, forcing the issue. Now Bruno getting a word from the referee. Not too sure what about, but Farley now will go near side, or far side rather, of the field now to change the direction for the Hoyas. Bruno at the top once again. They go near side, straight to Frazier. Frazier with a shot. Blocked in front. Deflected and finally turned away by Towson. Right as the penalty to Moransky is served. The full 5 minutes. We're now back at even strength. Towson looking for the equalizer with only 6.5 minutes left to play in regulation. Hoyas continuing to attack to try and add on, but more importantly, keep this lead. But right now, looking up ahead, trying to find McNeil. Unable to do so. McNeil was up ahead trying to get a pass from Blasone. Hoyas come back and turn it away. Final pressure by the Tigers, 6 minutes to play. Expect them to be attacking and jumping at every opportunity. Really working hard for those 50-50 balls. Moransky now. Deflected away by Thornton. Always have to reset. Ball can't be handled, and look out. Here comes McNeil. McNeil one-on-one with the goalie. McNeil diving, stopped by Wheats. Ball's not out of danger just yet. Tigers still with it inside the circle, taking a shot. Save again made by Wheats, but it doesn't matter. The whistle blew beforehand, and the freshman star coming away with a big stop once again. Was face-to-face, one-on-one with the leading goal scorer of the Tigers and came out and made the stop. Kira Wheats keeping this lead for the Hoyas. And it's plays like that that do give you a lot of confidence in this Tigers team. When they really needed it, they came away with the stop and a steal, and now they're pushing it again, and there it is. Their first penalty corner of the game. Momentum on the side of the Tigers here in the last 5 minutes.
Get that corner, girl.
First penalty corner drawn by Paige Reese. And now a big opportunity here. Hoyas needing a big stop late in this second half. Abby Webster to take the corner. And who else but McNeil set up to strike it. Olivia Blasone to accept the pass. Beta Hose on the near side. They go straight to McNeil. McNeil sets herself, looks for a shot, sends it over to Blasone. Blasone has it tipped away by Leverett, and Leverett comes away with the defensive play and the call. So the first penalty corner, and the Tigers don't even get a shot off. But still, deep in the Hoyas defensive zone. Moransky just trying to clear it up ahead, finds Van Schack. Van Schack trying to get a pass toward Alero, and she does. Van Schack with a little bit of space. If she can find Gill on the near side, sends it back to Cunningham. Cunningham losing the ball at first. Sends it backwards to Leverett. A lot of action here in the final minutes of the second half. Tigers looking for the equalizer. Hoyas trying to escape with a 2-1 win. Maybe even add on here as they continue to attack. Leverett. Slightly dangerous pass, but gathered in by Farley. Farley back to Leverett. Leverett looking inside. Van Schack right around the circle. It's marked by Tortolero. Van Schack can't keep it in bounds. Tortolero coming away with it. Tigers running out of time though. 3 minutes left. Backed up all the way on the opposite side of the field. Van Schack doing a nice job defensively. Time ticking away for the Tigers. Deflections and slow-moving plays to the benefit of the Hoyas. Bruno now in control. Looking up ahead for Osborne. Osborne gathers it. Moving baseline. Try to send it back for Bruno. She finds it. Whistle blows outside of the circle. Bruno again trying to make a cut inside. Ball still loose. Play was still on. Everybody stopped for a split second. Bruno was the first to recognize the play was still on. But then finally the whistle blows in favor of Towson. 2 minutes to go Towson still needs to go the length of the field to find that equalizer. And there, an errant pass off the stick of Tortolero. Could not handle it. Time ticking away for the Tigers. Hoyas playing smart with possession now. Pushing the ball backwards. Sending it all the way up ahead. It's going to go past Vanchek across the baseline. It does help the Tigers, allows them to reset at least out to the 16-yard line. Less than 90 seconds to go, though. And another turnover intercepted by Bruno. Bruno moving in just outside the circle, looking for a redirect. Does not get it from Vanchek. Was right there in front of Peacock. And Peacock has had herself an excellent game, only allowing the 2 goals and coming up with some very impressive stops throughout this contest. Tigers forcing the issue, can't get it out towards midfield. Thornton trying to gather it, looking for a call, they get it. They're going to have to push up ahead, under 50 seconds to play. Intercepted by Leverett. Leverett, flick pass up ahead to Moransky. Call goes against the Hoyas, however. 38 seconds left. Now the clock stops with 35 seconds. The 2 referees are going to meet. Clock did stop at 38 seconds for a moment or two. So we'll see if there is a clock adjustment here. Stick around for the post-game talk. It will be a short one, but will be important as we discuss the playoff implications for the Hoyas as we look ahead towards their final 3 home matchups of the season against Providence, Longwood, and UConn. And we talk a little bit more about this game, which is 34 seconds away from being the 10th victory for the Georgetown Hoyas. On the reset, Tigers have it. McKay. Setting it up ahead off the stick of Reese. Gathered by Moransky. Moransky moving up ahead, just trying to kill the clock. Now Tortolero. Tortolero gets past one defender, continuing to move up with it. Tortolero just trying to send a ball, hoping to find some white jersey. Battle for it at midfield. Tigers really pushing and forcing the issue, committing the foul with just 5 seconds left, and that's going to do it. 2-1, the buzzer sounds, and the Hoyas win it. They defeat the Towson Tigers 2-1 for their 10th victory of the season. The first time since the turn of the century that the Georgetown field hockey team has reached double-digit wins in the regular season. So congratulations, Georgetown. Was not the game that many were probably expecting, but a win is a win is a win, and definitely a game the Hoyas can continue to build on and improve from. The field conditions not ideal. The playing conditions overall not pristine for this field hockey team. They did not play their best game, but they played well enough to come away with the victory, and that's what happens. The good teams find a way to win, even when they're not at their best, and the Georgetown Hoyas did just that. Thanks to 2 goals in this contest. First half goal scored by Cami Osborne, her team leading 9th of the season, has leapfrogged her ahead in points as well over Lindsay Getz by 1. 20 points for Osborne, 19 for Lindsay Getz. Anna Farley picked up her first goal of the season off of a rebound shot by Cami Osborne to pick up her first goal of the season. Goal scored by Jessica Florenzo, the first goal of the game for the Towson Tigers, who fall to 1-13 overall. A game that they, I'm sure, felt they could have came away with the win, but this team certainly building nicely with head coach E.A. Jackson at the helm, and you see games like this where they were competitive the whole game. The record doesn't always describe the team appropriately. 1-13, but easily a team that is going to have a lot of heads turning, to say the least, in the upcoming seasons with the way that they're progressing and the young talent that they have on this team. But as we said, we're going to talk about the Georgetown Hoyas and their final 3 games and what that means. 10-5 on the season, that's the overall record. The key record is the 2-3 in conference, currently sitting tied for 4th coming into this contest. top 4 teams make the Big East playoffs. UConn and Liberty have set their mark. It's just a matter of which team gets the number 1 seed between those two, both sitting at 5-0. UConn, of course, reigning champions. Providence looking nice at 3-2, but then Old Dominion and Villanova tied with the Hoyas at 2-3. So Providence, Old Dominion, and Villanova are the other teams we'll be looking at. ODU playing Quinnipiac and Villanova to end their season. Those are 2 expected wins for Old Dominion, so throw them up at 4-3. That would lock in a spot for them, meaning that the Hoyas would have to surpass Providence and Villanova. Nova, assuming the loss at ODU, their other game is against Temple. Giving them the win would put them at 3-4. And if the Hoyas are to tie Nova, Villanova, because they defeated the Hoyas earlier this season, will take the victory. And they will take the final spot in the conference. So, Georgetown with a must-win game against Providence, October 19th, 2 p.m. here at Cooper Field. That will be the must-win game if they have hopes of making the playoffs this season. Their final conference game is against UConn. Should the Hoyas win out, they should be in the playoffs. But that game against UConn is going to be extremely difficult for them to come away with a victory, so they might need some help in that final weekend. But first things first, defeat Providence. Next weekend, 2 fun games, 2 crucial games here at Cooper Field. October 19th against Providence and October 21st against Longwood. So we will be looking forward to having you tuning in for those 2 games. I will be back on broadcast for that final home game of the season against the UConn Huskies October 26th, right here at Cooper Field at 2 p.m. on Hoya Vision. Thank you all for tuning in to this broadcast. My name is Dan Ward. Hoyas defeat the Tigers 2-1 here at Cooper Field. You've been watching Georgetown Field Hockey on Hoya Vision.